What is up, you guys? Welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Stephanie. I like to share everything lifestyle and fitness. Today, we are going to talk about how you are not being inconsistent. You might be misprioritizing. So how many of you create goals and day two, you fail to continue on this goal, or you can't seem to find the time to work on this goal? Especially with the new year, we all come up with these goals and we want to work on them, but then we just find that we're having a hard time sticking to them. We don't find time, or we find ourselves saying things like, I just don't have time, or I need to find more time. If that is you, then this video is for you, so stick around. We are going to be talking about how 2024 is going to be our action year. We're going to finally take control of our time and swap those unhealthy habits for healthier ones. This is a year where we finally stick with our goals. We don't just write them down on a paper, or every single year we have the same goals. No. This year, we are going to work on them. We're going to be conscious about them, and we're gonna get it done. So for the purpose of this video, we are going to be talking about fitness and nutrition. However, a lot of these tips can be applied to anywhere in your life. For example, with my YouTube channel, I found myself saying, I just don't have the time to edit my videos, or I just don't have the time to record, or I'm always caught up with this and I have to do this and that. I just don't find time for that. And I am now realizing that it's not that I don't have the time, I'm just not prioritizing those things. And so even though we're going to be talking about a lot of fitness and nutrition, a lot of the things that we're going to talk about can be applied in other areas of your life. So how do you find out if you are being inconsistent and what your priorities really are? You're going to start off with writing your why. Why have you written down this goal? This might seem like something so small to write about, or like, why? All right, I want to get fit because I just want to be healthy, or I just, things like that. Sometimes dig a little deeper to figure out your why. And this is extremely important because this is what's going to keep you going when motivation dies out. The disciplines of your why, that's what's going to keep you going. And that is why it's important to figure that out first before even putting it down. So once you find your why for this, you're also going to write down what is important to you. Whether it's sleeping, whether it's your job, you're going to write down what is important to you. Then you're going to write down what takes up most of your time. Okay, so if it's, hanging out with friends, or partying, or TV, or, whatever it is, if what is important to you does not match up with what is taking up your time, that's where you figure out where the issue is. Those two should be lining up. I also understand that sometimes when you're writing things down, it's hard for you to really come to terms with what's taking up most of your time, or sometimes we don't realize how much time we're spending on specific things. So what I recommend is writing down everything you do throughout the day. So Monday to Sunday, every single day from the moment you wake up. So I wake up, I start getting ready at this time. I usually have lunch or breakfast at this time. I leave for work at this time. I'm scrolling on my phone for an hour. Be conscious of everything you are doing the whole day and write all of that down. So once you have that done, we're going to move on to how we can implement and start working on our goal. And the first thing is time. You need to be smart with your time. One thing that I am learning to do is work on my priorities first. So I had this, or sometimes I still struggle with this, but this horrible habit of knowing, let's say I need to edit a video, or I need to work out, or I need to meal prep. However, the whole house is messy, or my husband asked me to do something for him, or Rocket has not gone out for a walk, or I need to call my mom, or my mom called me, I gotta call her back, I gotta talk to her. And I used to do everything else first before what I needed to do. And what ended up happening is that I would be tired and then I wouldn't want to do it. And so I would end up sacrificing myself for all of those other things that were, I'm not saying that editing my video is like a bigger priority than everything else in my house, but if I don't call my mom at that one moment, everything is okay, no issues. But if I don't call her back at that one moment, it's gonna be okay. Send her a quick text. Hey mom, I'll call you back in an hour. Or if I don't clean in that moment, it's okay. Just tell yourself like, all right, the house is not that much of a mess. Or you can start or change a habit or something in the sense where you're cleaning as you go. So the house is never that messy where you're finding yourself spending so much time cleaning it, sacrificing that other goal for that. Friends. There's a reason why it says it's a lonely road to success and stuff like that, because do understand that we all want to see our friends, we all want to hang out with our friends. There should be balance. It shouldn't all be just one thing and not the other. But when you are sacrificing, for example, exercising, which is a huge thing, a lot of people say they don't have time to exercise. When you choose hanging out with a friend or going out to that party or doing all of that before you exercise or do what you want to do or do what you need to do for yourself, essentially you are choosing them over you. You are prioritizing them over you, and that should never be the case. You need to prioritize yourself, work on yourself first so you can be present for your friends. And so one of the things that I am learning to do, for example, with my fitness, I don't need to spend a whole hour working out. Like if your whole schedule is completely full, let's say you work this job that's like 10 hours a day, you do not need to spend an hour or a full on 30 minutes all at once exercising. You can divide all of the time up. So I just did a 30-day movement challenge where for 30 days I moved. I did something. And that just made me realize that yes, not always am I going to have the time to do a full-on workout. Some days I did yoga for maybe 15 minutes. Other days I just went for a walk. It was a short walk, but every single day I moved and I prioritized that. So there are 24 hours in a day. You are doing something for those 24 hours. And those 24 hours, you should find there has to be at least 15 minutes for you to get some sort of movement in. And so whatever it is right now that you're using to fill those 24 hours in the day, that is what you are prioritizing. You might not even realize it, but that is what is a priority to you rather than what you are writing down that you want to be a priority, what your goal is. And lastly, nutrition. With nutrition, I find that the biggest thing, what is the most helpful thing when you are trying to prioritize your nutrition is meal prepping. And I know that sometimes it could get a little exhausting to always be meal prepping or every single week find time to meal prep. But if you are struggling with healthy meals or healthy choices, you should be prioritizing meal prepping so that you can achieve your goal of healthy eating for 2024. When you make a plan, it removes that option for a decision. And so, for example, when I am hungry, I am not thinking about like making a salad or all right, let me cut up this chicken or like make some brown rice. No, I am looking for convenience. What is the quickest? What is there already? Now if my meal is ready because I already prepped it and it's a healthy one, then it's a win-win. I don't have to cook and I'm eating something healthy. You're going to feel so much better about yourself when you meal prep and you stick with your meals. Another thing that I am finding that is extremely important when it comes to nutrition is do not 100% try to change all of your eating habits from one day to the next. Yes, always have a balanced meal and meal prep healthy stuff, but also include a treat. Also include a snack. Because what's going to happen is if you completely eliminate this, it's called like a pendulum, a deprivation binge pendulum. The way that it works is you have restriction, deprivation dieting. So basically your meal prep that is like completely out of the ordinary, nothing that you just created this meal prep and nothing in here is usually what you eat, and it's completely like there's nothing fun in there. It's just like this diet. In the middle, you have your listening and honoring body cues. So basically your body, right? Your mind, what your body needs, all of that. And then on the other side is binge eating and feeling out of control. And so what happens is that this pendulum will go from healthy eating, eating everything that you meal prepped, this meal you created, super healthy meal, but you are not getting what your body kind of like, your body is still going through a process. And so when you completely remove these things, that pendulum just goes into the binge eating, and you hit a stage of just like out of control depression, just completely eating, and then you go back and back and back. And so a little trick that I have is always including a reward, a treat, or something, putting that with my healthy meal so it doesn't always feel like I'm completely just cold turkey, just changing everything, and I'm going step by step. And so in conclusion, basically I say all of that to say you are consistently choosing the wrong things, the things that are pushing you away from your goals. And what you're not doing is prioritizing those goals. So you're being consistent, right? You are not exercising. You're consistently eating outside, fast food, things like that, and you are not prioritizing, or in a sense you are prioritizing those things rather than prioritizing what will get you to your goals. To summarize, basically the way I would start off with is figuring out your why, and then writing everything down as kind of an outline throughout your day, what you're doing, what you're spending all of your time with, what are the habits that you have now. And then you are going to figure out how to be smarter with your time. So what is taking up most of your time? Where are you misprioritizing your time and fitting in a lot of those goals into that time? As far as nutrition, prioritizing meal prepping, always making time for that, and setting yourself up to achieve your goals. So I really hope that was helpful. I am so excited for 2024. If you have any other ideas or comments, please leave them down below. I am really hoping that these tips have helped you all, or that will help you all get closer to your goals. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.